So, hi everyone, and today I'm sitting here with a NEET PG ranker, 826 apparently, and she has scored 634 marks out of 800. Dr. Tanya Mudgal, LMC alumni, LHMC alumni, and a great human being. So, guys, we are going to talk about her journey. She's a Delhi centered test and discussion student. So, one of the few people who has actually experienced the face to face classes during the pandemic. I mean, not during the pandemic, just that gap between. So, I am going to ask her a couple of questions, and I think we are going to enjoy the journey because, trust me, it is extravagant. So, hi Tanya, congratulations.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. So, hello guys, I am Dr. Tanya. I have done my MBBS from Lady Harding Medical College, and I'm extremely grateful to God, family, and of course the another DBMCI family for their constant support all throughout.
ठीक है तो बोलना ही पड़ता है ना DBMCI स्टूडियो में.
No, truly, I mean it, literally.
No, Tanya, Anu madam has always told me that, okay, you are a very brilliant student, but in that crowd heavy top 1,000 people, you have managed to get a place in that. And to everyone who is watching, just look at the result sheet and you will understand what I'm talking about. 714 is rank 1 and around 630 is rank 1000. So in a range of 74 marks, we have covered almost 1,000 students. 1,000 top best brains of India are in those 74 marks. So she has managed to get a place in there, a new concept of exam, that delay of exam, that mental torture, I can understand. Okay? And even then you managed to get a place there. How did you start your preparation?
Okay, so I started my preparation in third year itself. I had this idea in my mind that I want to crack it in the appearing year. Because if I can crack NEET UG in appearing, and I think I can give it a shot also. So I was very clear since the beginning that I'll be starting my preparation from the third year. And then I started it. I made notes, I read the notes. Then in the final year, of course, things don't go that well that we have planned because we have
I
our
understand.
university exams. We cannot always focus on the MCQs that time. So the pace gets down, but you need to, build up yourself again during the internship. And the internship is heavy. Truly, it was heavy in my college. Even though it was a COVID time, but it was not easy that time. So basically, sir, I planned accordingly that the time I have after my internship hours to revise. I think revision is the key. So I read my notes in the third year and the final year. I have had almost 2 times notes complete reading by the internship because I used the notes only for my prof. The notes helped me too much in the profs. I did not have to go for much of the content from other sources. So I read the notes in the final year and the third year, and in internship, the TND batch I joined. And that I think that helped me a lot because it made a kind of schedule for you. In internship, you cannot manage to go haphazard कि आज ये subject अच्छा लग रहा है तो ये कर लेते हैं या फिर you cannot give all subjects that due much time that subject deserves. And I think where the role of TND comes, because all faculties are really really experienced. They are making the test on their own experience. So they know the weightage of what part is more. So that way, I followed TND wholeheartedly. I tried to complete another revision during the TND session, but yes, sometimes I could not manage to revise everything if I am in some heavier posting those days. So I tried to manage it during my short course wali postings because if I cannot read itna in medicine posting, I tried to compensate in psyche. So basically, I studied during the internship also because I was targeting January NEET. It was about to happen in January, and I gave INI November also. So then I was preparing for January NEET, so I was clear in my mind that I have to do it in internship, and I did accordingly, following the TND schedule wholeheartedly and revising the concepts the teacher gave us during the class. I was lucky enough to, as the way you said, to really sit in the class and listen to them and make my own notes. So it helps. Though the trend is changing these days because of the circumstances we all know, but this really helps. You get that feeling in the exam that that teacher told this that time, and this is what circulates in your mind that time during the exam, I say. So that way, third year, final year internship, I did that. I wanted to do that in the appearing year, so I gave my 3 years to that. And after that, of course, when the NEET got delayed in January and in April, pace went down. Everybody's pace went down, I think, but somehow I gave GT again and built myself up. Ki, let's brace yourself up because you have to do in April. Then again, it got delayed. So INI May was coming. We were I think it was in May only, May or June. So again, I kind of pushed myself. It was thoda sa aur. Then it got delayed. So the journey was kind of, delays. But I always found ki, okay, every time on the eve of the exam, if I say I have some topics in my mind, ki ye bhi chhoot gaya, very common. How much time you get, you will miss on something. You will feel that you're missing on something. This is, I think, this what helped when delays happened. I used to cover those things. Like कि वो छूटा था उस time, so I'll do that. So that was it. I revised notes, gave the T&Ds, and followed the whole schedule by the institute.
It's like a classic studious person.
No. Not that also. I enjoyed a lot in my internship, in my final year. Those who know me. But the one part of my mind knew that, you have to do this also. So that way, whatever I did, I have enjoyed really a lot. But I knew that at the end of the day, my focus is something else. I did not let myself go away with that कि एक internship में मजे कर लेते हैं, then we'll drop and we'll do. People do that and people do better that way. But I had some part of my thing, let's do it in the appearing year so that it all goes in the flow. I wanted that. So not very studious. I somehow kind of wanted to make a balance and I made a balance all through.
Okay, I'm going to ask a question regarding this thing. See, I have seen students going 14 hours a day. I have seen and not being successful. I have seen students going 6 to 7 hours a day and being very successful. So just guide the students at how to maintain, I can call this a work-life balance kind of thing, because they suddenly isolate themselves. They try to make a cocoon that okay, मैं किसी से बाहर बात नहीं करूँगा, मैं कहीं पार्टी करने नहीं जाऊँगा. They try to change themselves and be the person which they are not. And I am a staunch believer that a person should believe in himself and embrace who he is. ठीक है, मतलब कि 6 दिन काम कर रहे हो तो एक दिन पार्टी करना बनता है. I am that kind of guy, and with your talks, I believe that you maintain that kind of schedule.
Yeah.
So just guide the people that it is okay to have one day of fun because your brain is not a machine. It's a living thing and that needs some kind of rest, because starting Monday, you have to give your 110%. If you don't rest for a while, you are sitting with a book, but your eyes are closed, your brain is closed, and you are just doing to show the world that you are studying. You are not being true to yourself. You're just trying to show off to the world कि हाँ यार ये लड़का 14 घंटे पढ़ सकता है.
True, sir. I really appreciate you put up this point. See, so what I think is, rather than counting hours every day, I think we should make those hours count. With very cliche dialogue, I know.
It's not about the efficiency. It is not about the hours. It is about the efficiency of those hours.
It's like people can sit with their books open, thinking that they're studying too much for 12 hours, 13 hours, and that same content could have been managed very well in 2 or 3 hours as well. So let's not do that, because I do not know about your efficiency and my efficiency, but what I feel is कि we should try and maintain a balance in a way that our mind needs both kinds of things. We just cannot study, because it's not a game of 1 or 2 months. It is a whole journey. It is that 1 day, 3 hours exam, which tests not only your knowledge, but how is your mind that time, the calm in your mind, and that comes only when you have maintained a very good kind of balance. If you keep on studying, you will somehow saturate your mind. You'll start overthinking in the exam. This I have also felt. It's not like that I've been very ideal all throughout. I gave my INI November, and I studied in internship, as I've already told you. So even the simple questions, I was having second thoughts, because maybe I have read too much. Ki how can they ask wala bhi factor hai, but maybe I have read too much, or I was overthinking that time. So that time I felt ki your mind needs thoda sa, a kind of balance, something out of the books. You might not like to party, don't go for party if you do not like that, but some other skill, other hobby, other thing to spend your time.
Relaxation.
In a day. Kind of relaxation. If you want to paint, you paint. Like, if you're reading 3 hours, you say, I'll paint for half an hour a day. that will keep your mind, more active, so that if you focus for another 3 hours, you'll become more efficient that way, rather than stretching it for 14 hours a day. Even I have seen people like that, and we also feel कि ये तो बहुत पढ़ रहा है. I mean, he will get the rank, she will get the rank. We feel that. But trust me, it really doesn't matter. Whatever matters is how efficient you were all throughout the whole time that you had with yourself.
प्लीज़ दिखाने के लिए मत पढ़ो, अपने लिए पढ़ो. खुद को पता होना चाहिए कि क्या किया है. अगर दूसरे को दिखाने के लिए पढ़ोगे, ना यहाँ दिल लगेगा, ना ढंग से पढ़ाई होगी. और बहुत छोटी सी बात है, इट इज़ नॉट अबाउट द आवर्स, इट इज़ अबाउट द एफिशिएंसी ऑफ दोज आवर्स. Okay, another question. I think that's again a very relevant question. So, I know you were a very regular giver of tests. Describe that feeling when you give a test. Did you feel confident after that? Because I believe tests are supposed to be exam practices. Okay, it lets you know what the examiner is going to throw at you, how the examiner can throw that question at you, and you're basically ready. So, describe that feeling.
Yes, sir. So I should tell here, like initially when I used to take test, I kind of not performing really well, and that time I had that feeling कि यार टेस्ट में तो मार्क्स ही नहीं आ रहे हैं, मे बी वो बहुत टफ बना रहे होंगे, और आई वॉज ऑलवेज ट्राइंग टू ब्लेम देम कि क्या पता उन्होंने ऐसे क्वेश्चन दिया, ऐसे थोड़ी आता है, इतना टफ थोड़ी आता है. बट समहाउ आई फेल्ट इट वाज मी, इट वाज ऑल इनसाइड मी. आई जस्ट नीड वन क्विक रीडिंग, one extra reading, one extra effort to understand the topic, and trust me, the questions DBMCI faculty makes, they are very conceptual. I should say this, there were 2 questions in this NEET exactly from mocks. I remember these questions because I got them wrong in the mocks, and they got repeated in some other mock of DBMCI also. And when it came in the exam hall, and it came whole pura memory mere dimag ke samne, I did it wrong, and I got that correct finally. So this is the thing, never ever get afraid of tests. You might not perform very well in all the tests. I never performed very well in my test, and you may feel low. I also felt low at times कि टेस्ट नहीं देते, थोड़ा और पढ़ लेते हैं, थोड़ा 1 महीने और पढ़ लेते हैं. But once you start taking tests, you get to know how to read that topic. If you're reading appendicitis A to Z from, I'm just taking an example, A to Z from, that all the pages, you won't feel the grip that how the question is being asked. It will not even ask like Sida appendicitis or whatever it is. So once you take tests, you get to know the kind of questions the topic can have. And this comes from more and more tests you get, because I don't think questions get repeated in the mocks also. They have always tried to make it in all the possible ways that NEET people can ask us, because it's all very unpredictable. So once you start giving tests, take them seriously and do not ever get afraid of it. You might not perform well every time, but I think I started analyzing it a little later. I used not to analyze it initially. I always see अच्छा 40 गलत हो गया, ठीक है, like that. जल्दी आंसर्स देख लिए wrong वाले. This I got to, I started a little late. I wish I could have started it earlier, but no regrets, no. Fine. So you can make a separate notebook. Whatever you want to call that notebook, you call it. 20th, your last look, or your favorite notebook. Anything you want to call it. Just write the points there. Every test has some new points. And those are new in a sense ki, you cannot know every time 100% of everything, and do not ever run for 100% of everything. But where should you focus is, where I focused is, if I get all those correct, which everybody else is getting corrected, which is really common, which is there in the notes, I kind of followed this. Let's not get those questions wrong which are there in the notes itself. Just require thoda sa understanding. So I focus on those questions more than the adding new stuff, because I think that can bring your rank really up and down. So that way. So I took all the tests and I analyzed it, though a little later, but I did analyze them, and I kind of found the improvement happening.
So were you doing the Qbank simultaneously with your test and discussion?
Yes, sir. Like once I started the test and discussion, we get a kind of whole schedule. So we have a 1 week gap between all the tests. So when I revise that subject, I kind of do like, 1 hour पढ़ लिया, 20 minutes थोड़े से MCQs कर दिए इस topic के, इस subject के, so that within a week you get a good amount of questions you have made for that subject from Qbank itself, and then the whole set of test comes. So you have इतने सारे questions of that topic that you have already got corrected or you have made, you have done the MCQs. So question bank also has very conceptual questions, I should say this, because once you read the subject, you just read it. There's just one impression in our mind, this line means this, line means this, but question bank gives you the feel, how is it being asked. So I think doing the Qbank really helped me. I did simultaneously with all these subjects. I kind of did almost all because we had so much time. I should not say मैंने बहुत सारा किया, but it got delayed and everything. I found कि ये भी बचा, so let's do it. I did it, and it made me more confident and comfortable with the topic. Basically, कि either way you'll ask, I try to answer that.
No, that's actually good because I firmly believe that the Qbank needs to be done with the videos. Because you watch a video, then you do a Qbank module. You need to know that when you have learned something, how the examiner, again repeating myself, that how the examiner will throw a question at you, that is supposed to be done by the Qbank. And every topic has an X number of questions allotted to them. After X, the X plus 1 question starts repeating itself. It's either A is equal to B or B is equal to A. So if you have done a question bank of that particular topic through a Qbank module, by the time you get to the NEET PG or the next, you realize that okay, questions repeat ही हो रहे हैं, ये मैंने कर रखा है. That again gives you a lot of confidence कि हाँ यार मुझे पता है. And despite a lot of pressure on us, I made sure that in all our grand tests, NEET PG booster as well, we did put a lot of single liner questions, and that actually came true. NEET almost had like a 50 to 60 questions which were single liners. Yes, there were clinical, but single liners were there. So I'm actually going to take this moment to thank our academic team for working their brains on that. And again, students like you who push us कि नहीं सर ये होना चाहिए और हम अपने toes में रहते हैं कि हाँ यार ये भी करना है. So I know, okay, so I'm going to ask her another blunt question, and that's about eGurukul. See, I know eGurukul, starting of the year, I won't lie about that, eGurukul had a little bit of tech issues. But I believe, which I'm going to paraphrase here right now, that end में आते आते कम हुए थे क्या?
Truly. सही में हुए थे. It's not that I'm sitting beside you, that's why I'm saying I have felt it. Initially, in January or February, I should say, you know, there were so many bugs and बार crash हो रही है. There was a kind of frustrating feeling कि इतने में तो ये कर लेता हूँ, like, you know, there's so many sources around. So initially there was that glitch, but somehow we knew that it had some good context. So we were after you, obviously you know that we kept on typing on WhatsApp groups, ma'am ये भी नहीं हुआ है, sir फिर से crash हो रही है, फिर से log out हो गया. And you, I remember, you posted a whole post ki give me the feedbacks, tell me what should be improved, and many students gave their feedbacks and team really worked on it because we could feel the change. That's why I'm saying that. Otherwise I won't say that, but I myself felt the change कि नहीं अब चलाने में मजा आ रहा है because it's app only. If it is fine, then only we can use it. So initially it was not there, everybody knows it, but now it is it is really fine. All the glitches have been solved, and even when now it comes and the query gets solved really, really fast.
I feel like I'm sitting in a PTM meeting, a parent-teacher meeting, because eGurukul is like little baby of mine कि ठीक है अभी बड़ा हो रहा है, दूसरा साल है, तीसरे साल में मैडम बता रही है कि नहीं अच्छा हो जाएगा, कोई बात नहीं, थोड़ा naughty है.
It will improve. Yes, I was about to say this. थोड़ा सा करता है बीच में, but it is improving really lot.
No, I have worked 14 hours a day with that kid, so I promise you that by the end of this year you are going to see a huge change. But Tanya, I think any special message to our faculties, to all the students who are watching this video?
Okay, so to faculties, I'm really very grateful. I'm repeating this. I am thankful for all the concepts they have given us since the beginning, because that's what really matters in those 3 hours. You might not need एकदम बहुत ज़्यादा focus on facts, but the concepts, like the trend is changing. So I'm really thankful to all the faculty members, to all my favorite teachers We all know there are so many good teachers in DBMCI, and they really make things literally clear, and they are very fast at that DBMCI Premier group on Facebook. Also, I used to ask so many doubts, so I know that. And to all my friends, see, it's all about yourself. It's just you and yourself. Do not compare yourself with others too much. Do not focus on ranks too much in GTs or the mocks you give. Focus on the wrongs, the corrects that you are giving with all the exams. Because at the end, it's just you. Do not see usne kya kiya, usne kya kiya. I used to see that. Everybody used to see that. It's human mind. I know it's all about competition, but at the end of the day, it's just you and yourself. Focus on yourself. Try to increase your own corrects, and you will see the rank improving on your own. So all the very best. I hope I'll get what I want, and I think I will get it. So thanks to you, sir.
I believe she will get it. So I think we are blessed to be a part of her journey. On behalf of the whole team DBMCI, I give you again a huge congratulations. May God bless you. And I think being a very pleasing personality, you're going to do some great things in life. Don't you think so? I do. So with that, I think we can end the session. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your time, Tanya. Take care. God bless. And please, I hope you find what you're looking for. Believe in yourself and please study for yourself and no one else. Thank you. And I'll see you on the hot seat very, very soon. Take care.